Did you know that Malwarebytes has an impressive track record for detecting certain types of malware, but struggles with others? Malwarebytes has been a well-known name in the cybersecurity scene for some years, but with so many competitors, is it still a top choice, or has it fallen behind? What features does it offer, and what are its strengths and weaknesses? Find out everything in this Malwarebytes review. I'll be updating this table with its pros and cons as we go. So, what are some of the pros of Malwarebytes? The first, and also one of the most important things an antivirus should have, it's real-time protection that works in the background to protect your device from threats without having to push a button to start a scan. In addition to this, Malwarebytes has something called multi-layered detection to find malware more effectively. So back in the prehistoric days of the internet, all antivirus software used something called signature-based detection alone to identify known malware. Imagine you're in charge of a club, and you've got a list of people who have caused trouble in the past. Every time someone tries to enter, you check their face against the list, and if there's a match, you don't let them in. Similarly, they worked by comparing files against a database of virus signatures. This worked well against most viruses, but now a lot of hackers have found a way to get around this method. So, what answer did antivirus providers like Malwarebytes arrive at? They use a combination of traditional signature-based detection as well as AI and heuristic analysis to analyze the behavior of a program. So, let's go back to that same club, but instead of just relying on a list of known troublemakers, you also train yourself to look for suspicious behavior like people who are acting nervous, wearing disguises, or hanging around too close to the doors. If someone seems off, you might ask questions or keep a closer eye on them, even if you've never seen them before. This extra layer of security allows Malwarebytes to effectively detect even attacks that don't have a known signature. Malwarebytes also has web protection that keeps you safe while on the internet by blocking and warning you about dangerous websites. There's also a browser guard extension that includes an ad blocker that, well, blocks ads. And it does this pretty well. I intentionally tried to visit a few sketchy websites and I was either warned or diverted right away from the site. It also scores pretty high in independent tests. Here, you can see that Malwarebytes had a 99.2% detection rate for zero-day attacks and a 99.9% rate for known malware, which gave it a 5.5 out of 6 rating for protection. Malwarebytes also has a decent reputation on the antivirus scene, which is very important since you're essentially handing your keys over and trusting them with your computer safety. The interface is clean and intuitive. The dashboard is easy to navigate, and it's where you'll find things like your malware detection history, the scanner section, and real-time protection. To run a scan, you just go to the scanner window, and then advanced scanners, where you have the option of running a quick scan or a custom one. Quick scan is the basic scan that checks the most important areas of your computer for malware, such as memory and startup objects. This scan is designed to be fast, typically finishing in just a few minutes. It's good to use when you're short on time, but keep in mind that it's not as thorough as a custom, which allows you to tailor the scan to your needs. You can choose to scan for specific types of malware, like rootkits, and change settings like how often the app updates its malware list. The custom scan gives you the most control and is the only option that scans the entirety of your device. There's also an identity protection feature where you can track your passwords to see if your information is being sold on the dark web. And for $8, you can get active identity protection, although it is only available in a couple of countries, so keep that in mind. Malwarebytes offers a 14-day free trial, allowing you to try everything out with no strings attached. You don't even need an account, just install the app and start using it. If you do decide to go premium, the standard plan will cost you $45 per year for the base antivirus. If you're willing to pay $15 more, you get the Plus package, which adds in a VPN. And at $95 per month, you get the total plan, which unlocks the identity protection I talked about earlier, with $1 million in identity insurance and advanced social media monitoring. You can also pay $120 to get a license for 3 users, with the Teams plan that goes up to 20 users. Also, students get 50% off the standard and plus plans, so if you're in school, make sure you take advantage of that. Now, let's talk about some of the cons of Malwarebytes. One of them is how empty the feature list is for Malwarebytes. One of the most common criticisms that Malwarebytes receives is how bare bones it is. Unlike Bitdefender, which includes a VPN, password manager, system optimizer, and a safe pay browser for secure transactions, Malwarebytes prioritizes core protection features without as many extras. For instance, while Malwarebytes includes an ad-blocking browser guard, Bitdefender goes further with anti-tracking and phishing protection for more comprehensive web security. And of all the features that Malwarebytes has chosen not to bother with, its lack of a firewall is probably one of the most controversial. I think the idea is that most built-in firewalls that come with Windows or Mac are enough for the average user to safely monitor network traffic for suspicious behavior. Malwarebytes also seems to struggle a bit more than other antiviruses when it comes to dealing with newer threats like zero-day attacks, which is basically a type of cyber attack that exploits a software vulnerability that the software developer or security team doesn't know about yet or has only just discovered. Since there's been 0 days to fix it, it's called a zero-day attack. And of course the performance. Oh, the performance! Malwarebytes uses an egregious amount of CPU while running scans, sometimes even as much as 95% in some cases. And as you'd imagine, my computer doesn't like that very much. Now, let's take a look at how well Malwarebytes does when pitted against our #1 antivirus pick, Bitdefender. When it comes to malware detection rates, Malwarebytes is strong, scoring 98.8% for protection against zero-day malware attacks, and 99.9% for detection of widespread malware. But Bitdefender is much stronger, scoring a perfect 100% in blocking both zero-day attacks and 4-week-old malware threats. Bitdefender has a ton of features like an anti-spam module, an anti-tracker extension, a VPN password, system optimization, safe pay browser, anti-theft capabilities, a Wi-Fi security advisor, parental controls, and more. On the other hand, aside from the core security features, Malwarebytes pretty much just gives you a VPN and a free browser guard extension. Malwarebytes is much cheaper though, starting at $45 per year and a 14-day free trial. Bitdefender starts at $110, but you get 55% off for the first year. Again, you can use the links that I've added below to grab even better deals on both. So, after putting Malwarebytes through the ringer, it's clear this antivirus still packs a punch with its high detection rates, user-friendly design, and effective web protection. If you're looking for solid, no-nonsense security, Malwarebytes is not just an option, but a good option. You do need to keep the limited features and high CPU usage during scans in mind, since those could be deal breakers for some users. Next, check out this video about the best antivirus providers, or this video about the best cloud storage services.